Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steve and Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from gorgeous, sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about managing your work burnout. This week.
Thank you. We need to talk about this. We
this
really
week
need
is
to
all
talk about this.
Kind of like non-land topics. They're just about stuff that goes on in work.
Boy, do I have a lot to say about this.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the Land Investors online community. It's free.
Jordan asks, I'm currently in the process of closing my first ever deal.
Good.
For this reason, I have questions. Number one, how critical is it to have title insurance for a land transaction? I know most of you aren't lawyers here, but I guess I can ask whether or not people here typically purchase with it. 2, when is it too late to buy title insurance? I want to get this worry out of the way so I can get this deal closed.
Good questions.
3, if I should buy title insurance, does anyone know of a company that we could go to? Anyone that will offer insurance itself and not part of the closing package?
No.
Any help here is greatly appreciated. I'm pretty anxious about this whole thing. Thank you.
May I?
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 questions in there. Number 1, it's very unusual, if not impossible, to find a company to separate escrow and title insurance. And here's why. They're issuing a title policy, and the process of escrow makes them much more comfortable. In fact, it reduces a lot of risk for them because they research the property and they close a deal and they know this guy's got the money and the whole thing, and they close it and they can issue a policy on it. So it's a qualification to get escrow is a qualification for title insurance. Number 2, we have a pretty hard and fast rule about the purchase price and whether or not we close the deal ourselves or do it with title insurance, and it's about $5,000. Although more and more, with very few exceptions, we almost close everything with title now, just because
most of our transactions are more than $5,000.
Yeah, in fact, all of them. And I'll tell you, it's a lot of work to close your own deals. You should do it. You should learn how to drive a stick, and then eventually just drive an automatic because it's easier. You should learn how to close your deals. It's something you need to know mechanically so you can manage title people the rest of your life. But it's great to sub out all that work to someone else.
The reason we picked that $5,000 and why we coach on that and advise that with everybody is because less than $5,000, and I'm talking the purchase price, not necessarily the sale price, but if I'm buying something less than $5,000, if I did it all wrong and I'm out $2,000, I can afford that. When I get more than $5,000, now it might hurt. Number 1. Number 2 is because now there's a little more the profit in the game too, because getting title insurance and doing escrow, we all know, is not cheap.
Yeah.
So, gosh, if
That's
I'm buying
great,
a property for $1,000, do I want to spend an extra $1,000 getting title and escrow? Now it's not worth it for the deal, so I don't want to do that. But if I'm buying something for $10,000 and I'm selling it for $20,000, I can budget doing the title insurance, the escrow, and all there in there. So that's the other reason that we have that advice.
The third question is, it's twofold. Number 1, where do I get it to go? Where do I get a good title agent to close a deal? And when is it too late to get title insurance? So we almost always get title insurance from a company that's local to the land. So if you're in Massachusetts and you're buying a piece of property in New Mexico, get a title insurance company that's in New Mexico and preferably close to the real estate. Where do you do that? You go to a company called sourceoftitle.com. It's packed with mom and pops, and that's who you kind of want to do business with. These mom and pops are great. They're flexible on the price. It's like dealing with an owner and everything.
Right.
And when is it too late to get title insurance? Jill and I have purchased property without title insurance and then gotten it a year later.
Mm-hmm. You can do it later.
Or we sell it to somebody who sells it to somebody who sells it to somebody, and nobody did title insurance, but now they want it because they want to build on it. They just go back. So you can always do it. It's not
exactly.
It's easy but time consuming.
I've done that, just so you know, too. When you're selling a property, I've sold it without title insurance and made it really clear that I'm selling it without title insurance, so the savings go to you. And then my buyer, and I'll tell them, if you guys want to get it after the fact, you sure can, and they'll do that themselves as a separate expense. Good questions.
Today's topic, managing work burnout. This is the meat of the show. What is work burnout, Jill? I have I'm going to ask you like 10 questions, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Not to put you on the spot, just because I think
I love
we'll
it.
define it this way.
Okay. Work.
Of all the stuff that all the things you do for all these crazy companies we have, what burns you out the most? Like what just you get into
Well,
it, it's like, and I can't stand this.
What do you want to know first? Do you want to know what is work burnout, or do you want to know what happens to me?
Both.
Okay, well, work burnout is for anyone where you just almost, you're working so hard that you realize you're making bad decisions. That's for me what work burnout is.
Wow, you're not
even showing up. You're there every day. You're spending 10 hours a day. Really doesn't matter. The last 8 of those 10 hours where you got nothing done. You've been surfing the internet and seriously, and you're perfecting your posting, and you've rewritten the same paragraph 5 times. You're just not thinking straight. That's one work burnout. It's a mental work burnout. But then there is a physical work burnout. I mean, it's really, they kind of go hand in hand. You just don't want to get out and go to bed. You just don't want to go to work anymore. You are burned out.
Wow.
That's, and that happens to people. Does that surprise you?
No, it's just not how I define it. But I mean, I think that's excellent. I'm sure that it happens. I'm sure you're right.
Like, well, how do you define it?
My definition of work burnout is you come in and you're just like, this sucks.
Right.
Wait a minute, Steve. You're making a ton of money at this. Yeah, but it sucks. This is awful. It's not even worth it anymore.
That's another way.
That's when you need a. That's
career burnout almost, maybe.
I need a vacation.
Yeah, I get that.
There are certain product types that we're involved in that I can't stand. I'm not involved in it at all. There are certain things that go on in these companies that we have. One of them is IT, where I'm just so done with it and disgusted with it because it just never goes right. It's not rewarding, and at the end of it, you're not making any more money. It's just, back ends of websites make me sick.
Well, now you just shared that with you. So that's your thing, and that's true. And like for me, I'm trying to think, what is it for me? What is it for me?
I don't know. This whole show is kind of meant to be a rant for you and me.
I know. I'm trying to think, what is it for me about burnt when I get burnt? I guess for me, I can rally. You know what's interesting about me is that there are times that I go, I need a break right now. I'm not coming in today.
Yeah.
And I just am not on the right. You know what? I guess that's my thing. There's times I hit it, and it doesn't happen very often. But when I do, I've learned to go, you know what? If I come in today, I'm not going to be a whole lot of fun. And I know I'm not going to get anything done. I'm just not in the right frame of mind. I need to take a break. And it's because I work 7 days a week, like we both do, for 8 months straight. I can take Tuesday off. I earned it.
Back off of stuff. Back off of stuff will drown you.
So.
And my big peeve has been for quite some time is if you're going to expend money, which is we all have to do to run companies, it better be a profit center, not a cost center. That's why IT bugs me so much, because it just seems to be this sinking hole of money that doesn't really improve anything. I mean, it might improve our customers' experience. I actually think our websites work really well now. They weren't for a while, but I don't like it. If that was my whole job, I'd pack it all up.
I know. I have a couple things to say about tips to manage work burnout. So, number one, be aware of it. That's the biggest thing. If you're aware that this could happen, or you feel it happening, or you just know that the next person that walks in your office, look out.
They're going to get it.
Oh, yeah, they're going to. It doesn't matter what it is. They're coming in to tell you your lunch is being delivered, and
Usually it's me.
That's right. You just let them have it, So that's number one, to manage it. Be aware of it. And then I guess number two, sometimes now and then for me, I do a reality check, and I kind of go, all right, am I really where I want to be? Am I really doing what I want to do? Is it really going in the right direction?
It helps me too.
And what's interesting is so many people in our community, and I think a lot of people listening to this show, you have your day gig and you have your side hustle, right? That's what's going on. And we all want our side hustle to be our day gig. And this is hard. This whole process right now and this transition right now, you're killing it at your day job because you don't want them to fire you. You want to stay there. So you've got to, show up and do a good job. Your heart's not really in it. Your own business, what you're building on the side, is where your heart is and that's what you want to do. So this work burnout is even more important and more. You're more of a candidate for it in this situation. So you really got to be careful and watch for it. So I guess. So, here's
the real fix. May I?
Okay.
Number one, get yourself on a schedule. What stresses people out is that they're not in an Outlook type calendar every single day doing what their calendar says. You schedule out your whole month or so, and you just look at your calendar, and and in your head while you're working on this stuff, this is how I get through it all.
This is all works for you.
Right, but I understand, and it's not. That's why we're here, to suggest what what works for people. So that is what keeps me not burnt out.
Okay, well, go give us all of your lists, and then I'll finish my list.
That's it.
Oh, that was your only list?
That, and then you need to take vacations. And I don't mean vacations. You just need to take a day off where you turn your phone off, go out on the boat, do whatever it is.
That works for you. Okay.
You really have to give your mind a rest and not think about work at all or talk about it. Especially if you're working with your spouse, you tend to just come home and start talking about work, and you got to control that. You go nuts.
What else do you do?
That's it.
You don't do anything else?
Well, I'm trying to keep the show short.
No, it's okay. No, I want to know more about it. I want you to finish your list. I'm going to come back to my list.
That's about it.
That's all you do to manage work. There's nothing else that you can think of that you want to... What about releases? Do you no?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I meant by the second comment.
All right.
You really have to unplug your phone. For me, unplug the phone. Go do some stuff that's completely unrelated, like that you have to concentrate on, like boating. Boating's a great one for me.
So that's a third. So this is good. That's 3 for you. So that's good. All right. So for me, my list was, be aware of it, watch it coming. You guys doing 2 jobs. You're really such a candidate for this. You got to be careful. I love your comment about please don't take it home. That's hard. You don't want to come home and take it out on people.
No.
Maybe, and do something else. If you have to do something on your way home, like a lot of people, I think that's their time. A lot of people who have commutes, their time in the car, that's when they're listening, getting out of their thing, so they can come home and be a pleasant dad. You don't want to come home and be mad dad.
Yeah.
We've all seen mad dad.
Yeah. Sad mad.
Sad mad.
That's what the kids call it.
Just
sad
kidding.
mad dad.
We all have had our moments.
Or take it on a treadmill or something too. That's always good. Something
like that. Exactly. That's a good release. I had my final point is you're probably gonna mess up, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Be
Cut
kind.
yourself some slack.
Be kind to yourself. Give yourself a break. If you are that sad mad dad, when you wake up on the morning, bring your wife coffee, make her some toast, make her some eggs, tell her you're sorry, and remind her that this is why I got burnout. I'm working so hard because you know what? I'm doing this for us. There's a big reward at the end of this. That's why we're doing this.
It's very motivational, Jill.
Thank you.
Well, you done it again. You spent another 15 minutes or so listening to the Land Academy show. Join us next time where we talk about buying your way out of a cash crunch, believe it or not.
And we answer your questions. Post it on landinvestors.com. It is our own online community, and it is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Good stuff, Jill.
Yeah. What's funny? I think these motivational shows in these weeks, every time we do this, I get nothing but good stuff. There's so many people out there that they understand they understand the details about, flipping land and all that stuff, but there are some personal hang-ups and things that are more inspirational that get in the way.
The older
these
I
are
get,
all good shows.
and the more we do Land Academy and now House Academy, the more I learn. I'm learning that the actual real estate deals themselves, they only take a little while to learn.
Right.
It's all this other stuff. It's keeping a schedule, not getting burned out,
following through, posting the property, buy the property.
Motivated,
it's funny, you buy the property. Now you got to follow through and post the property. It's
all
hilarious.
Those things. It's not. It's the real estate deals themselves just come very easily because we've the technical aspect of how to buy and sell land in these groups that we have. Everybody's got it figured out, and it doesn't take long.
Right.
It's the other stuff.
Exactly. Share the fun by subscribing on iTunes or wherever you are listening or watching. It might be YouTube, so please subscribe and rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.